Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. Today, we're going to be talking about the new moon in Virgo, and this is occurring at 4 degrees of Virgo on or around the 27th of August, 2022, depending on where you are in the world. This is a really powerful new moon, as they all are, but this one is especially powerful. I just realized I say that all the time too. What makes this one special, we'll go with that. What makes this new moon special is the fact that it's really kicking off or beginning to emphasize a whole lot of energies that we're going to be experiencing throughout the month of September. Between the moon itself and then some of the other major aspects that we have going on that we're going to be discussing in this video, we're really opening up the doorway that then is going to lead into the 9-9 portal, the Mercury retrograde from Libra into Virgo. Just a whole lot of energies that are really going to be focusing on our relationships, both our relationships with others and our relationships with ourselves. And of course, spirit as well. We are always in that partnership with spirit. So we're going to talk about these energies in this video. Then we're going to pull some cards and see what the cards have to say. And the themes that we're going to be discussing in this video are going to be ongoing, as I said, throughout the month of September. So we're going to be looking at these energies through a few different lenses, through the energy of this new moon, through the energy of the 9-9 portal, the Mercury retrograde. It's just going to keep going and going. So consider this part one in a whole segment of videos that's really going to begin breaking these energies down. This focus on relationships, and also, I don't want to say also, this new moon really, I think, in my opinion, emphasizes the most important relationship of all, which is the relationship that we have with ourselves. We have the sun and the moon conjunct in the sign of Virgo at 4 degrees, which is a Cancerian degree, by the way. So we have that Cancer energy also present, that beautiful watery energy. This is going to add to the emotionality of this new moon. And they are squaring off perfectly with Mars in Gemini at 4 degrees of Gemini. All right, so we got that energy right there with Mars in Gemini, really amping things up. And what this is doing is it's highlighting our relationship to our health. And with Mars in the sign of Gemini, and also working with the energy of Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, there's a lot of mental energy here. So I'm really feeling an emphasis on our mental health as well as our physical health. And the reason that we're talking about health is not only because Virgo rules health and the 6th house, which is all about our physical health, the habits that we have that reinforce our health, all about that self-care, but Mars rules our physical health and our stamina as well. So when we have this energy together, it's really putting an emphasis on that. If we have any underlying health issues or things that need to be adjusted in our routines to better our physical health more, our physical strength, we are going to have those energies possibly brought up for us. We're going to be asked to address those so that we can move forward, feeling more powerfully anchored and comfortable in our physical vessels. And as we said, because we're dealing with all of this air energy, the mental health feels like a huge focus. So this Virgo new moon is asking us, how do we take care of our physical health, our mental health, and our spiritual health? How is our relationship to ourselves? Do we know how to practice self-care? Do we know how to plan in and make sure that we structure our days in a way that supports our health on all of these different levels? And this new moon really wants us to understand our self-talk and self-image and the way that that factors into not only just our mental health, but also our physical health and our spiritual health. Because remember, our physical health is an echo of what's going on with us emotionally and mentally. And so when we have that, when we're looking at that, it's also, of course, an echo of how we're taking care of ourselves physically. But that mental and emotional piece is huge. And this is a piece that gets overlooked a lot. Western medicine is beginning to catch up. They're now beginning to understand how many diseases and disorders are really caused simply by stress. And what is stress? stress is a mental and emotional state that takes a physical toll on our bodies. So we're really going to be called to declutter, to de-stress as we move into this energy. I also want to remind everyone the Virgo season video is out as well. So check that out if you haven't checked that out yet. That is in the Astrological Seasons and Cycles playlist, as well as in one of the top videos that I've just recently uploaded because it came out right before this video. So go ahead and check that out for more information on Virgo energy and what some of the things we can expect as we move through Virgo season. As I said, there's a lot of moving pieces to this, and we're going to dissect them all as we move into the month of September. But this self-talk and this self-care piece is so incredibly critical. And it feels to me that that is the energy that's really overriding this new moon. This new moon is a really great check-in for us. How do I talk to myself? How do I see myself? How do I treat myself? And sometimes it helps if we have trouble treating ourselves well and talking to ourselves kindly. It can help to think about a person that we really love, admire, and respect. Think about the way that you talk to them. Think about the way that you think of them, right? And try to turn that energy around and give that energy to yourself as well. Talk to yourself the way that you would talk to somebody in your life that you love, admire, and respect. And if you notice, as we're moving through these energies, that you're doing the opposite of that, this is a perfect time to really check in with that and to begin the process of reframing that. And a really easy way to do that is every time you think a negative thought of yourself, think 3 positive ones in response to that. I like to say those positive things out loud because when we say things out loud, we give extra momentum and power to our thoughts. When our thoughts are verbalized, they have that much more power. And with I'm feeling this energy of Mars and Gemini as well, as really helping us get in touch with this energy of our empowerment through our words and through our mind. Right? So we're in this cycle. All of these energies are really coming together and coalescing in order to teach us this and in order to help us get really good at this, because as we move forward, we are manifesting more and more powerfully and more quickly. Our thoughts and words become things with it very rapidly. And so we need to get a grip and a handle on this if we are to move forward and have a pleasant life, right? Because if we're manifesting, imagine you're manifesting almost instantly and everything that you're saying is negative, or everything that you're thinking is negative, or not even everything, but the majority, right? Because majority rules when it comes to manifestation. It's not, we might think about the thing that we want twice a day, but if we think about the things that we don't want 25 times a day, that's the energy that has the momentum, and that's what we're attracting toward us. And if that conflicts with the things we're saying we want, I don't want to say never, but we are very unlikely to get what we want, because the universe does not know the difference. All right, your body does not know the difference. So when you speak badly or poorly of yourself, your physical health, your body, what have you, your body really interprets that as this is our truth. And of course, we end up living and experiencing that truth accordingly. Some other interesting things to note during this new moon in Virgo. I'm going to go first. We're going to get to the Grand Cross. There is once again a Grand Cross. 2022 is like the year of the Grand Cross. This energy with the nodes, the South Node in Scorpio, the North Node in Taurus, which is still loosely conjunct Uranus, squaring Saturn, is really intense, and we keep having planets move into this T-square to create a Grand Cross, which is when we have 2 oppositions and 4 squares going on with their energies all connected. And so now, I guess we're talking about this first. So now, during this new moon, we have Venus moving into position right around that 19-degree point of Leo to now be the planet moving through this Grand Cross. It's like so many, I don't want to say all the planets, because not all, but so many of our personal planets, right, are all moving through this energy and receiving this initiation, really, as they enter into this T-square between Saturn and the nodes and Uranus, and it becomes a Grand Cross. So this is so intensely powerful. And yes, this activates this energy of really pushing us to close out old karmic cycles, to move into the new, fresh energy, right? To rewrite some aspect of our story, some aspect of our experience, to really shake loose all that is confining us so that we can move into and toward our life purpose. This energy is all about gearing us up so that we can better fulfill our life's purpose and our life's work, our soul's work on this planet. So now with Venus here, we're looking at relationships once again and self-love. You see how these themes are repeating no matter which planets we're looking at, which lens we are looking through. So that is just emphasizing this energy of self-love, self-acceptance, and relationships, as well as material things as well. And so when we're looking at finances and different things like that, this Venusian energy moving through there, creativity, all of it. Just all of the things, you guys. So we have that going on. And then we also have Mercury, who is the ruler of this new moon, being the ruler of Virgo. We talk about this a lot, right? This energy of Mercury and Virgo, and how Virgo energy is grounded mental energy because it is an earth sign ruled by an air planet, and Mercury is exalted in the sign of Virgo. Mercury will spend part of his retrograde in the sign of Virgo. And we are going to talk about that more in the Mercury retrograde video. So I don't want to get heavily into that energy right now, but spoiler alert, there's a lot of relationship energy in there that we're going to be working through. Like I said, this is really the opening that's preparing us for the energies. And remember, our relationships are a reflection of our own self-worth as well, and our own self-image and our belief systems. And so it all traces back to that. But we have this energy of Mercury opposing Jupiter and Aries. And Mercury and Libra opposing Jupiter and Aries. And there's another aspect here. Who else is involved in this? I want to say Mars again. I got to check my notes for just a second here, you guys. Yeah. And Mars and Gemini completing what we call a mystic triangle. So Mars is making a sextile and a trine, one to each of these planets. And which one really doesn't matter in this analogy. It's all about the energy of it, right? So Mars really giving some extra oomph to this energy. With the energy of Jupiter in Aries opposing Mercury in Libra, there is this energy here of us wanting to expand, right? Jupiter in Aries, both of these planets, oh wait, Mercury's not retrograde yet. Mercury is in pre-shadow to go retrograde. And we have Jupiter, of course, already retrograde. And this is also a sort of a preamble to these energies, because during Mercury's retrograde, he's going to spend a decent amount of time in an oppositional energy to Jupiter and Aries. He's also going to move through, and I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, he's going to move through an opposition to Neptune. And we've already had that Mercury-Neptune energy, but we're going to come back through that again during the retrograde, as well as a trine to Pluto. So there's a lot of powerful energy. And we're feeling the echoes of these energies as well during this new moon, because they're not too far off, right? But this energy right now that we're discussing, trying to get us back on track here, of Jupiter opposing Libra with that trine and sextile being made by Mars here. We're wanting to expand. Jupiter in Aries is big. It is bold energy. And this energy of Mercury in Libra really wants to consider. Libra is a sign that likes to weigh all of the options. That's why it's represented by the scales, right? Libra wants harmony. It wants balance. It wants equality and fairness. And so this is where our mental state is at. And this is giving us it's a great counter to the Jupiter and Aries energy, because we have all these inspired vision and ideas, and we have all this stuff that we're passionate about, and these ways that we want to expand our consciousness with Jupiter in Aries. And then we have Mercury in Libra kind of slowing that down a little bit and getting us to consider different sides and different angles. Jupiter in Aries can be very committed, similar to Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is the sign that Jupiter rules, right? Another fire sign. Can be very bold and very, when Jupiter in Aries, this energy, when we have an idea with this energy, we really become committed to that. And so Mercury in Libra is asking us to see different sides. It's asking us to weigh the pros and the cons. It's asking us to consider other people and how any of our endeavors or our ideas affect the greater whole, affect others. So this is kind of a little bit of a tug of war, but it's really like a balancing act. And then we have this Mars and Gemini energy that is just really encouraging us to go forward with our ideas once we've come to this balanced place, and we've really considered more of the angles than we might if Jupiter in Aries was not being aspected in this way. We're then able to really move forward. And Mars and Gemini a lot of times can be more of a scattered energy. It's the energy where we want to start a ton of different projects, right? We want to kind of, the energy can get pulled in a lot of different directions. But this Mercury and Libra energy really helps to balance that out and helps to streamline it and to focus it a little more. So all of these energies together can be really great for starting creative projects, for making forward progress in any area of our lives where we're desiring that. Keep in mind that Jupiter is retrograde. But retrograde does not necessarily always mean that there's not going to be any fuel for the things that we are endeavoring. A lot of people think that, but just imagine it. A lot of these planets are retrograde for half the year. Mercury goes into retrograde 3 or 4 times a year. If forward movement and progress could never be made when planets were retrograde, nothing would ever get done and nothing would ever happen. So it is absolutely possible, and I don't feel Jupiter in Aries, the fact that Jupiter's in retrograde, as really stunting this. But I do feel it as also adding to that energy that gets us to slow down a little bit and make sure that we're considering all sides and all angles of a situation, of an idea, of a project. Let's see. It's really calling us, what it's going to help us do is to take calculated risks and to really commit to the things that we're most passionate about. If something isn't holding our attention, think Gemini energy, think Aries energy. We are not going to put our focus and our time into it. It has to be something worthy of our attention and our focus. And then we do have the ability to really go after that. So that's a really beautiful energy that we are experiencing during this new moon as well. All right, and now I think we're going to get into the cards. Really, the biggest energy, like we said, of this new moon that I want people to focus on is this energy of becoming well-rounded. This energy of focusing on that self-talk and the way that that influences and affects our lives. Really taking stock of our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, and making the necessary adjustments where they need to be made. We're going to go with the good old-fashioned Moonology Oracle cards for this reading, and let's get some energy for, I almost said Mercury retrograde, clear. Like I said, these energies they all kind of blend, right? We separate them and we do separate videos for them, but all of these energies really blend together. They're all supporting each other, and it's a trajectory of energy. I like how I split this open, and we had new moon and new start is coming with new moon and Aquarius bring love into the situation. So I know that somebody was looking at these cards when I opened up my hands to start talking, and they definitely drew my attention. So we got a lot of that new moon energy for this new moon. A lot of this new moons bring fresh starts. They are the ideal time for manifesting. And no, we have not restarted the new moon ceremonies yet for anyone who is curious. I'm sure we'll be doing that at some point in the future here. But yeah, it's a great time for manifesting. And so, and I will share with you guys the most important thing as well that's going to come out in the 9/9 portal video, which is the energy of really manifesting from a place of gratitude and a place of seeing and expecting and focusing on the highest outcome, focusing on the positive, focusing on the love. And so there is a new start during this new moon, a fresh start for anybody in any situation if you're able to bring love into it. Bring love into it. See through the eyes of love. Speak through the eyes of love. Act through the eyes of love. All right. Let's get some energy here. Clear. We are clearing. We always forget to do that. The cards know, though. I'm actually going to, now that we're talking about this, I think I'm going to download all of my cards so that they automatically clear themselves after a reading, because that'll save some time, right? We can do anything. We really can. We are such magical beings. It's all about intention. Intention is your most powerful tool. My cards probably already clear themselves because I have that intention for them to be clear every time I pick them up. Not by clear, I mean not retaining the energies of past things that I've used them to read into. They're very attuned to me. I was thinking today, everybody talks about altars. Or not everybody, but a lot of people, we talk about altars. A lot of people have an altar, which is a sacred space, a space that you have set aside where you place perhaps objects that have special sacred value to you, a place that you create to honor something or someone. And I realized that my desk here and this area where I do my readings, this is essentially, I have a separate little altar, but this is really my altar. So I have that intention that my cards are cleared and ready to go, recharged and ready to go all the time. I don't know why. Everything's relevant, so that all came out for a reason. But yeah, we're looking into this energy of this Virgo new moon. Tell me what can we expect? What guidance does Spirit have for us regarding this Virgo new moon? What's going on? All right. 2 cards out. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus, and hold your vision. Fixed moon. And interesting, the fixed moon came out with what many would argue is the most fixed of the fixed signs, right? Taurus. So what this is telling me as well is whatever it is that you're trying to create right now, whatever your dream is, whether it's the healing of a relationship, whether it is the reconstruction of a family, whether this is a project that you're trying to get off the ground, whether this is abundance of any kind that you're trying to manifest, whatever it is, whatever your dream is, don't give up on it. I feel like somebody watching this, or many people watching this probably, are at the point where it's almost like you're tired. Things haven't quite manifested the way that you've desired just yet. You've been working really, really hard at something and you're ready to throw in the towel. And Spirit is saying, don't throw in the towel. Or you could, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you've been feeling this way for a long time. I feel for some people, it's just like the frustration has kind of built and you're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling a little bit defeated. Spirit is saying, hold your vision. What do you want? What do you desire? Hold that vision within you. Your vision, your intent, like we said, is the most powerful tool that you have. However, there's some footwork that needs to be done here. And this is what Spirit's saying is, for some, you have this beautiful dream, but you're not doing the footwork necessary to make it come to fruition. Or if you are, you've missed some things. So you need to go back, right? This Virgo energy is really great for that, going back, revising. This retrograde energy is all about revisions. Go back and revise your plan. Do you even have a plan? Because sometimes, especially those of us who are more spiritually aware, or becoming more spiritually aware, I guess I want to say, sometimes we get so focused on the spiritual and the magic of the universe, right? That we forget that we are physical beings and we also have to take concrete action toward our goals. We can't just wish for something and do nothing about it. All right, that's not, we have to meet Spirit. I haven't used this phrase in a long time, but what do we always say on here? I take 1 step, Spirit takes 10. But we have to take that first step and then we have to take the next, all right? And so that's what this energy is some people have been leaving so much up to Spirit, but you haven't been doing the legwork and the footwork that's necessary. You don't have a practical plan in place. Remember, we create our plans with plenty of wiggle room so that Spirit can come in and work its magic, but we still need to have a plan. We still need to have something in place. What are the actions that I can take? And this was one of the most constructive things I think that I was ever told regarding manifestation. Was we all write our list of the things that we're wanting to manifest, right? But then I was told, take that a step further. Once you write down what you're wanting to manifest, write down 3 to 5 action steps that you can take to bring yourself closer to that goal. That's what's missing here for some people. There needs to be a practical plan in place. There has to be some sort of understanding of the logistics of a situation and what is needed from you. It's like Spirit is asking, okay, hold this vision, hold true to this. All possibilities are possible. This can happen. But don't worry so much about what you need from me. Listen for what I need from you. Because there are things I need from you in order to help facilitate this dream coming true. So hold your vision. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. But also take the steps. Develop the practical plan. What are these action points? What can I do to support this process of this thing unfurling? There was something else I was going to say, but I can't. It's like 1 part visualization, 2 parts action. And the word practical is highlighted here. So practical, this is like real world. This is where the linear mind, right? The mercurial mind comes into play. The Mercury in Virgo linear mind, right? That grounded mental energy. We're being called to ground our mental energy. You may even get inspiration out in nature. If you meditate out in nature, like go ground your physical body as well. Ground yourself. And that's going to help. Practice meditation to quiet that mental energy. Really ground your energy so that it's all not swirling. It's not just swirling chaos in your head. Bring love into the situation, still on the bottom of the deck here. And this isn't just bring love for other people. I'm being called back again. Bring love for you. Something's not coming through. Something is struggling to manifest for somebody because they don't believe in themselves and they don't feel worthy. Deep down at a core level, somebody doesn't feel worthy about what it is that they're seeking to manifest, and that energy is directly blocking the manifestation. Bring love for yourself, right? Like if you're, and then we got a win-win situation as forecast, full moon in Libra. All right. But I just want to say here, if you were listening to me talk about this energy of making a practical plan and taking the action steps, and you immediately started beating yourself up like, oh shit, she's talking to me. I'm doing exactly that. Why do I always do this? And you start, if you started criticizing yourself for relating to that energy and not taking the steps, and you immediately jumped into that self-critic mode, then that person that needs love in the situation is you. Don't be loving to yourself. Be loving to yourself. This energy is so screaming that for each and every single one of us. Where is it that you are hard on yourself? Can you be gentler? Yeah. In any area of our lives, I think a lot of us are beginning to realize with this new moon how loud the voice of our inner critic is and how the impossible standards that we sometimes hold ourselves to, excuse me, and just how hard on ourselves we are. Anything. If you are, seeking to lose weight right now, I'll use that as an example. That's definitely just me getting comfortable in my body after having a child, right? And being in that whole process, like that's an area where I'm learning I have to be more patient and kinder with myself. But also, like we said, take those practical steps, right? This energy is telling us, don't sit in your shit. Whatever your shit is, don't sit in it. Get up. Don't have a pity party. Don't complain about things and then not take action around them. Okay? That's another energy here. In general, it's like find things to be grateful for. Bring love into the situation. In the example I just gave, love the body you have instead of shaming that body and thinking about the body you want. Love the skin you're in and continue to take the practical steps in order to continue to shift things in a beneficial direction. All right, but it's anything. Spirit wants us to get off the pity pot. wants us to stop. When you complain, you bring in more energy. The universe says, oh, this person likes to complain. Let's give them more to complain about. Right? Our complaints are shaping our reality just as much as our gratitude is. Sometimes more, because I think a lot of times we connect more energetically to the things that frustrate us than the things that are pleasing to us. Not all of us, that's a generality, but a lot of us. And so we really want to, it's like, don't think about it, be about it. That sort of an energy. That's basically, I feel like that's summing up a lot of this reading, honestly. But there is that energy of, in that situation, whatever situation. I just gave you another example so that you can apply the love principle, right? How do I love myself through this? How do I love myself as I am right now? This is Virgo's greatest challenge. Virgo is the virgin. Virgo energy is all about purification, about becoming better. But Virgo must first learn how to love themselves as they are. If we don't have self-love, and we are approaching any type of journey of self-improvement, without self-love, that simply becomes self-criticism. We cannot begin a healing journey, a journey of purification or improvement, without self-love. That is, in so many ways, a recipe for disaster. We may not be perfect with self-love, but we have to learn how to employ that in our journey. And as we do, we begin to learn more and more how to love ourselves. We don't step into that. I'm not saying like you have to be 100% in love with yourself to try to do any healing work. I'm definitely not saying that. It comes through the healing work. But but to a certain degree, we have to have the ability to have patience with ourselves. We have to have the ability to have compassion with ourselves, for ourselves. Otherwise, it's simply going to turn into us writing a checklist in our heads of all the ways that we're terrible. And that's not getting us anywhere. All right, WinWin Outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. And I'm feeling this energy moving us all the way through September and all the way through to that Libra new moon next month in October, or at the end of September. That Libra new moon at the end of September, okay? And I was feeling this through that Mercury retrograde and everything. I was feeling this when I was channeling and doing my writing for the energies that we're going to be experiencing this month. This is a win-win outcome for some people. It's like if there were mediation that you needed, if there was a court process that you're going through. This also has to do with relationships, reconciliation, healing relationships, for some closure in relationships. Whatever it is, wherever in your life you're struggling to find a solution or common ground in some area, there is an outcome on the horizon that is healthy for both parties. Let's get some more energy on this. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. And what this means is pray for the highest and best resolution for all involved. Think about and anticipate the best possible outcome. Don't get caught up thinking about the worst thing that could possibly happen, because like we said, that's when we attract that worst thing, right? That's how we attract problems. I just heard too much problem solving becomes a problem. And this doesn't mean that we don't apply solutions to issues and problems, right? But it means like if we're constantly just thinking about our problems and everything that could possibly go wrong, that eventually becomes problematic in and of itself. There's a difference between taking that time to consider and pray for a solution and get quiet and allow the answer to come to us versus just overly over and over examining the same issue and creating more issues and possible issues related to that as we go around. It's that hamster wheel. Once again, this energy is really calling us to get off the hamster wheel. Yeah, nothing is yet set in stone. Your energy toward the situation is really going to help dictate how it turns out. Whatever this is. And this is where, once again, bring love into the situation. That's one of the greatest challenges of being unconditionally loving, right? Can we love somebody even if they're not giving us a reason to, right? A reason is conditional. Can we love someone? I don't know. I wanted to say even when they make it difficult, but that's like blaming, right? But can we love unconditionally? Do we know the difference between love and codependency as well? Right? Because a lot of people, that's kind of the energy, is they think like, or they think like, if I love my enemy, then I am aligning myself with them. Then I am condoning them. Then I am, well, you are accepting them if you love them. But you're not accepting the treatment, right? If you're being treated poorly by somebody, by loving them anyway, you are not accepting the poor treatment. You are not condoning the poor treatment. Because what is love? And this is a thing that we're all really still learning, right? What is love? When we hear love your enemy or love the person that you're struggling with, we automatically, a lot of us make that jump to think that means we have to compromise ourselves for them. We have to, like, I'm trying to figure out how I want to phrase this. We have to let them walk all over us. We have to give them the upper hand, so to speak. Like it's a power thing. And this is because we come from a distorted version of love. These are the old understandings of love that we're attempting to move through now, that we are moving through. Loving your enemy just means having compassion for them. Just means accepting where they are in their soul's journey, in their life's journey. And accepting the fact that they can't accept you, or they can't love you, or they can't show you the same compassion that you can show them. And not taking it personally. Right? But having compassion for them, having tolerance for them. Still holding your boundaries, not allowing them to walk all over you, right? But still having compassion and seeing them for the soul that they are on, the journey that they're on, and being okay with that for them. It doesn't mean you have to accept, like we said, less for you. So it's like, how can you bring love into a situation? Because remember, real love is not weak. Love is strong. Love makes us strong. When we can love from a healthy place, from an unconditional place that's not laced with attachment. All right, what else here? It's also, I'm feeling for somebody, it's like you really feel in a situation that you know exactly what the outcome is going to be. Or it's looking like it's going to go a certain way. And Spirit is saying it could still go either way. Or a way you haven't even perceived of yet. So don't be quick to jump to conclusions. And especially for the people who are anticipating something happening, going badly, it has a far greater likelihood of that if that is your belief and expectation. Hold your vision of what it is that you want to occur. And then what practical steps can you take in order to help facilitate that? Yeah, here we go. I almost said on the bottom of the deck. On the bottom of the deck, we have more Taurus energy. New moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. But the card that came out for us, full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. Right here, Spirit just wants to keep bringing us back. This is it. This is the whole enchilada right here. This is what this new moon wants us to see and understand. You are good enough. You are worthy. You are beautiful. These are the kinds of things we want to say to ourselves. Learn to say that to you. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am strong. I am capable. I am brave. It all boils down to self-worth. Once again, this is the energy where Spirit is coming through and saying, if you want to achieve it, you have to believe it. You have to believe it for you. You have to believe in you. You have to know that you are worthy. I feel like somebody is really struggling here too. You're struggling with self-worth, and this is a cycle that many people are ending right now. It's like struggling with self-worth. And in your life experience, you have attracted, and I'm not blaming when I say this, right? We attract everything into our reality that we're meant to learn from and grow through. Some things are kind of predetermined. Our souls decided it was going to happen before we even got here, and I believe we have very little control over that. But then some of these experiences then create belief systems that create more of these experiences. So that's what I mean when I say you have attracted. But one way or another, you have been in a situation for quite some time where somebody has, the way I want to put this, I guess, is somebody has really reinforced this core belief that you are unworthy, that you are not good enough. I feel like this is possibly for somebody in a narcissistic relationship, in a relationship with somebody who would be classified as a narcissist. This could also be that you have family situations and dynamics where this energy is at play, right? Remember those early experiences that our soul chooses so that we can grow, then that's like the fertile soil when we're young, that plants the seeds that then begin to grow into the trees. And what I mean by the trees are the experiences, the additional life experiences, the types of relationships that we attract are really formed by the relationships we have when we're children. All right. And so I definitely feel like the energy that I'm tapping into, you probably did experience this types of relationships with your parents or other people in your childhood, in your formative years. And so this is a big cycle that you're working through right now. And you've been in a relationship for quite some time with somebody who reinforces that narrative. And I feel like for somebody, it's almost like I can relate to this. Like you thought that you had healed this energy and you met somebody who you thought was different and they turned out to be exactly the same, or you're beginning to see that they feel exactly the same. And you've been really struggling with this person. You could even have a court situation with this person, whether you are married and you're getting divorced, or there's like custody of children going on, or some sort of, it's like you're waiting for some sort of judgment or ruling. Some of you. And for some of you, this isn't like a judgment in the 3D world. It's like it's a higher kind of a judgment. You're waiting to be released either way. And you're waiting for, it's like, for some of you, you're beginning to break free mentally. And now you're looking at like, okay, how do I get out of this physically now? And for some of you, it's like you've been in the process of getting out of it physically, and you're waiting for those final loose ends to tie up so that you can really walk away and be free. And it's like Spirit wants you to know you are good enough. Do not listen to what this person says. Do not allow that to feed this core belief. It's time to uproot that belief. That tree that grew from that belief, that tree's got to go. It's got to be cut down. You know, it's like when you buy a piece of property, and I love trees, so this really pains me that people have to do this, and one day I may have to do this as well for safety reasons. But you buy a house, and there's a tree that's growing in such a way that it's a danger to the property, right? If there were strong winds were to come through and knock that down, it would fall on your house. It's overshadowing, right? And creating a condition in the house that's not pleasant, right? Like fostering mold and mildew and all of that energy, blocking the sunlight. It's like that person is like that, but they are not the whole tree. The roots of that tree are this belief that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. This belief that they were able to identify in you, because narcissists and people like this, they can spot somebody who has this core belief system from a mile away. All right, and what they do in the beginning is they really validate you and make you feel good. So they counteract that belief system. And then they cut you down. And that's what this person did. And it's, oh my God, I'm feeling into the energy of whoever this is. It's such a blow. Because they really, when you meet somebody who makes you feel good about you, when you at a core level really don't, that is such a powerful healing experience. And to have that rug ripped from underneath you, it hurts 10 times as much as you hurt before. It's like the whole world, from your perspective, has constantly told you that you're not good enough. And of course, your experiences have reflected that, because it's a belief. Our reality reflects our beliefs. But that is, Spirit wants you to know that is so not true. You are so worthy. You are more than good enough. Right? This is a mantra for you. I am enough. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am strong. I am gifted. I am brave. And you are so brave, and you are going to move through this energy. You may feel like all is lost. You may feel like there's no way that you can win against the energy of this person. And so what Spirit is telling you is it's not about winning against the energy of this person. It's about you versus you. But not in a combative way. This goes back to everything that we've been talking about, right? This is like, if you can heal within yourself this belief that you are not good enough, everything else will be healed too. And there is a win-win outcome. But it's all up to you. Forget about the other person. Focus on you. How can you heal this belief within you? I haven't opened up personal sessions yet. But if there is somebody who's really powerfully resonating with this, please reach out to me. Theta healing is one way to help address this. All right, but if you can address that core wound, the relationship, they will lose their power over you. And this whole situation, whatever it is, whatever ammunition they have, whatever leverage they have, whatever is still attaching you to them will melt away. And this says a win-win outcome is forecast. That means as long as you do this, you continue to do this healing work, I feel like you're already doing it. You will be victorious in this situation. There will be a balanced and fair outcome. And then final message here. Prosperity lies ahead. Step out of your comfort zone. North Node in Taurus right here. North Node is shaking up our lives right now. It's pointing us toward our destiny, toward our abundance and our prosperity. But that lies, just like we always say, right outside of our comfort zone. So allow this energy to move you. Even if the direction it's moving you in scares you, possibly especially if the direction it's moving in scares you. Once again, it's all for everyone about releasing limiting beliefs. Clear. What beliefs do you have around prosperity, about your ability to create prosperity in your own life? You and your loved ones are safe. New moon and Cancer on the bottom of the deck. And that feels like a message, too, that can resonate with whoever I was just talking to and the situation you're in. If there's an aspect where you're fearing for your safety, the safety of your children maybe, you are being guided and protected. Take the steps that you're being guided to take. Spirit is walking with you. I feel like more than anything, it's like somebody is afraid that their children are going to be harmed mentally by this person in question. Like their own self-esteem is going to be affected. Possibly that they're going to be influenced by this energy and begin taking on this energy as well of this person. And just know that your children are being guided and protected, not just by spirit, but by you. You have more of an influence on them than you think, in a positive way. All right? Children don't just emulate what they see. Sometimes they see something and it is so horrific to them or so undesirable that it really helps them to do the exact opposite. Right? An example of this would be, you can see two different types of kids that grow up in alcoholic or addicted homes. One becomes the addict and the alcoholic. The other one is straight edge sober. Right? One sees it and emulates it. The other sees it and does the exact opposite because they don't want that result. I mean, obviously, there's more than just those two types of people that grow up in those situations, right? But that's an example of the energy that I'm talking about. It doesn't mean they're going to emulate this person. This person may be trying to get in their head, but it's not going to work. Ultimately, they have free choice, and they also see your example, right? So allow them to see the two ends of the spectrum and trust that they're going to make the choices that they need to make. And just know that this situation is closing out. It is ending. If you allow it. If you're ready to do the work in here, then they have no more control over you. They have no more power over you. All right. I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, hit that like button. Drop a comment down below and let me know. There are links to donate in the description box below. There's also a thanks button now. You can just hit that button if you want to leave a donation, if you find that these videos are helping you. I love you guys so much. Share this with anybody that you think needs to hear these messages. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you are new, click that bell right now. Hit the bell with the little squigglies so you get notified when new videos come out. I have a lot of videos that I'm trying to get recorded for you guys because there's a lot of important stuff coming up. So I haven't had the opportunity to hop on and do a live, and it's been over a week. It's probably been close to 2 weeks at this point. I will when I have the time. I just, like I said, really want to get some of this content out for you guys first. But we do regular live streams on here for anybody who's new. Typically speaking, I am still technically out on maternity leave. But still getting these videos out for you guys. So we will get back into the swing of the regular lives, hopefully somewhat soon. Yeah, I don't know. There's more I could say, but we're going to leave it right there. I love you guys. You're beautiful. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a beautiful new moon.